Hello, I'm Bruce Brooksma, bringing to you the Ashley Ribbons May newsletter 2021. I'm just across the street from the place where civilization began, the new world, as I termed it in the video of Dolly's in the Kitchen. Right across the street, and you're not allowed to take pictures of it, do videos of the door through which the king entered, and the council and all that business. It's very strange. So I'm right across the street. And I don't want to alarm or alert the dogs or anything. There's a couple out the back. And you get instructions. I really would like to do this inside, but people are so quiet in there, and if you start talking, even though they're at some distant table, they'll look at you. So you get instructions at the door and I've been there quite a few times. It's a place where Elvis Presley ate in the 1950s, in those AD times. But you get these instructions at the door to when Dolly comes to your table to put in your order from a peripheral angle, just like that. Just order your breakfast, like that. Very weird. But I'm auto-ordered the Elvis breakfast, which was 3 eggs, pan-fried potatoes, bacon, milk, chocolate milk. I get coffee, I get hash browns, corned beef hash. But back in those days, way back in the 1950s, right across the street there was a cow pasture. There were cows, a dairy farm, and there were cowgirls and women riding horses, and kids used to come along and try to hustle up a buck. There were groves, orange groves, behind the dealership. They used to pick the oranges right off the trees, put them in little boxes, and sell them to local tourists. Local meaning, 20 miles away. I suppose that was a big deal then, to travel 20 miles. And then they'd go through the groves, and there'd be a clearing, and they'd be served biscuits and orange juice from the goat people. Today, right across the road, there's a private Ford dealership advertising new cars at used prices. Pretty good gimmick. But there's been an emergence of a lot of little strip malls, private practices, private dentistry, palm reading, private Korean massage. What else? There's a few things. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, you still have to make an appointment to get in there. So people have these private tailgate parties out by their cars. They park their bagel and their coffee on the car, and just down the road, in these little private tailgate parties and private practices, you have a public supermarket. The parking garage simulates like an airport garage. People like to blow their horns in there, I guess, to hear the echoes that their car horn makes. Gives you that worldly feel. And it really simulates a parking garage at an airport. But there's something bigger. They say that this atmosphere will stimulate appetite. Just as the same when you arrive at an airport. It could be 6:15 in the morning, and you rush over to the food court. You're famished. And same here. It stimulates people to go on a big spending spree of food, fill up their carts. So getting back to here, where I am, there's a health center close by here. No one's here. Very, very strange. So I'm going to be going in there and having some breakfast. Pretty hungry. But just to give you a picture of what's lying ahead, I plan to record today an old song from AD times, the song I wrote, which was unearthed by a friend of mine I played in a band with many years ago. But you'll notice a trend in the early in the set of something religious or spiritual. It'll be a song called "Raised on God," followed by one about an angel leaving the ground making no sound. There's no title to that yet. It's something along those lines. One might conclude that I'm about to undergo a born-again experience. because of that little trend, that thread of spirituality between two songs close to each other. But I can assure you that that's not the case. These are just textures or aesthetics of our culture. One thing leads to another, and then you move on. Of course, someone else might say, whoa, wait a minute. The fact that you're denying it, you're embarrassed, you're trying to resist it, you're pushing back. And that's an indication, a sign that there is about to be a born-again chapter in your life, or a born-again way of life. But no, that's not so at all. So I'm going to be going inside right now. And it's funny, you know, that chocolate milk that Elvis drank came from that dairy farm right across the street, as fresh as you can get. And they say that there was a cow there that produced chocolate milk. It's a nice thought, you know. Parents told their kids that. Anyway, you take care of yourselves. Don't back into cars like I did. Stay away from Death Highway. I backed into a car just the other week in the morning. There's no parking across the street. And it was dark. I backed into it. No damage done, but technically it was a hit and run because I just left. So, you know, these things can happen. Well, take care of yourselves. Have a good day. Have a good afternoon. It's really weird, very blustery. It's May and it's blowing like it's March. I don't know. I'm analyzing too much. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.